but you can't just ask them to meet you for a drink. How do you build these relationships with media these days?
I mean, you are right. That was the thing for decades of just taking people to lunch. But I've actually, not as many as they should, but there are some places that have, I've gone to a couple in Manhattan. It's media networking breakfast. You have 1 hour and you just, and the crazy part is because you have all PR people attending these things. So, each reporter will be surrounded by, hundreds of people pitching the same thing. But it's, if you have a good story, like the funny part is I'll come with a book. And I'm not just here flashing my book, but it just happens to come up in the little conversation. And, what is everybody else going to say?
Speaking of which, again, those of you watching on Amazon Live, one click and you can buy the book. It's on your carousel, depending on whether you're looking at a phone or an iPad, a tablet, or a computer. It's either going to be the left side of your screen, the right side, or the bottom. With one click, you can buy it. I'm showing the screen image here from my own computer, but the book is Real Investor Public Relations to help you get started fast. And the author is a well-known, highly seasoned, credentialed practitioner of the IR and PR arts, Patricia Baranowski Schneider, who is our guest today. Patricia, I want to give you something a little bit different from what a lot of podcasts do. We're all about empowering people to communicate more effectively, to be bolder with it, to be even more comfortable with it. And so we openly embrace self-promotion. So I want to give you 90 seconds to pitch away at your book. Say anything you want. Give people any reason whatsoever to promote their book, to buy your book, and what value they'll get for their business. So I'm actually going to go off screen and let you just promote incessantly for the next 90 seconds starting now.
Okay, thank you. Well, like I say, I've helped other people. I was even somebody's thesis, interviewing me was their thesis. I'm going to tell you not what you want to hear, but how it is. I love what I do. I've been doing this 35 years. Love, love, love the creativity about it and coming up with stories and finding unique ways. And I do, I put various tidbits of information in here. Various things that I've done, through my 35-year career. And it's point blank on how you relate to people, how you can pitch a story, who to interact with, and how you go about doing it, because the whole industry and landscape's changed. But yeah, I mean, I am a little unique that I work with clients around the globe in just about every niche under the sun. So I have that experience of tailoring stories a little differently for each different niche and each different type of audience, where somebody else might be in a healthcare PR, healthcare IR, whatnot, and that's totally fine. But each audience is different, and you have to think of how can I get my story in front of them with the investors. How do I make the story, even if the stock is doing bad, how do I twist that? Well, that's a great buying opportunity. Buy low, sell high. You have to just be creative in how you can tell the story. And, that's kind of what I do. I even in the PR and the marketing side, what makes you stand out from someone else? You could be, I don't work for them, but say Coca-Cola, and now you're a new soda company. Well, you're the same as everybody else. So how do I make you different? And you find that unique way and you pitch that story. And, I just love doing that. I think this is so much fun. I'm thinking, how can I make you stand apart from everybody else? And then like he was mentioning, the landscape's changed, the media's changed. So how do you build that relationship with people? You network the heck out of yourself. I go to every event. I even network with other, people in this industry, because somebody might only be doing PR or IR for healthcare or technology, and maybe they have someone in finance that can use my help. And you never know. So it's always good to network. You never know who knows somebody. And the same with, say, social media. I post on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Would my ideal client or prospect or investor for a client be on those? Probably not all of them, but you know what? You never know who knows somebody. I can have a client who is in the investment niche, and I happen to post this on TikTok, say, for example, and it's Thanksgiving and grandma's talking at Thanksgiving about how Pop-Up passed away and she has this retirement. She doesn't know what to do with it. And Jamie says, I did see something online. You might want to check them out. You never know who knows somebody. So you have to kind of be all over the place and really just tailor your stories differently. They're going to be different for each medium that you post things on. Your story is going to change, whether you're talking to an institutional investor or a retail investor, analyst, broker, who are they following? So it's kind of everything in a big nutshell.
Fantastic. And we should point out to viewers and listeners, I didn't tell you this was coming. I gave you the opportunity and you took it and ran with it. And I'm impressed for a couple of reasons because A, it was coherent and made sense and really described things in simple terms. B, because you're in a profession where a lot of people are guilty of the old adage, the cobbler's children wear no shoes. A lot of PR people, I find, are the worst at promoting themselves. They are reluctant to even go on a podcast or any interview. So hats off to you on that. How do you prepare your own clients for interviews? I mean, that's, full disclosures, that's my traditional business. Is I've done media training quite often. PR firms, IR firms hire me to train their clients,
Right.
but most do it in-house. How do you prepare your clients to be able to articulate the vision of their company, their value, answer questions confidently,
Right.
whether it's an easy softball interview or a tough confrontational TV live interview?
Yeah. So say, for example, if we were doing a webinar, what I do then is I'll reach out to the audience who's already, registered and say, well, we want to make sure that we're prepared for all your questions. I don't want to leave you with a question that's not in. So tell me what topics or questions you have so we can make sure we're prepared. So at least now you have a clue of what people are going to ask. Of course, you're going to have someone who asks something that you're not familiar with. But I always try to say, answer as honest as you can. It's okay to say, I don't know, but I'm going to get right back to you with that, blah, blah, blah. I think, I try to reach out to everybody. I always do perception studies just to find out what people are thinking, what they feel, what kind of things that they're unsure about, so that you make sure you're giving them everything they need and they want. Because like I said, even with institutional investors and retail investors, I remember doing a perception study and they were seeing
I apologize, 1 second.